1, 2, 3. Tag Me In Podcast.
Tag Me In Podcast, back again with another episode. Joining myself, Anton.
And also Ola.
And you know what? We got a special guest today.
Come on.
We're going to be talking to someone. We're going to be talking to Dan. Come on, champ. Talk to Dan. Talk to Dan. So, Dan, tell the listeners, what are you about?
All right, so Talk2Dan's been going on for 2 years now.
So that's the name, Talk2Dan.
Talk2Dan, yeah. And there's a reason behind the name. One thing I wanted to do is make something that's a roll of the tongue. So if a young person is talking to another young person, or a young person is talking to just anyone, it could be an older person, it could be, actually, you can talk to Dan about getting into media, or you can talk to Dan.
Talk to Frank?
Nah, I wouldn't say so, you know.
You're not the plug?
I'm the plug, but talk to Frank, I don't know who's the plug, man. I don't want to defame. I don't want to put a bad name on Talk to Frank. You know, I don't even know that's still going on. But yeah, I'm like I was saying before. Like, I'm the middleman, which can actually help young people get into media careers, and also at the same time consult them, looking into the problems that they're going through and providing that solution. So that's where my knowledge, my expertise comes into play. You know, being able to work at different companies. Channel 4, ITV, Sky, other small independent production companies has helped me being able to do this, to believe that I'm credible to do this, actually start a platform like this. So, and the young people that I've encountered, the young people that's come through the platform, oh man, it's amazing. It's only by God's grace that I've been able to meet so many different young people from from London, from outside London. I mean, and the talent is crazy. Yeah,
the talent pool's there.
Yeah, like there is a lot of talent on the Instagram and the Twitter. Like there's a lot of people that just want to learn. There's a lot of people that are midway, experienced, just starting out, grassroots level. But everyone has a talent that I've been able to see and establish. And there's going to be more young people coming to the page, you know. And that's the most amazing thing. I have a really big vision for Talk2Dan and be able to actually move it forward.
So you're saying like social media is a big platform for finding creatives and, you know, bringing them onto the platform of Talk2Dan?
Yeah, I would say social media is really important because I think the most important thing I learned when I was in uni is about maximizing your online presence. With anything that you do, you could be a videographer, you could be a graphic designer, you could even be a makeup artist. I think you got to post that stuff online, but separate the two. So your personal life, your personal Instagram page, and then you have your actual business page, your makeup artist page, for example.
Oh, so like a separate brand.
Yeah.
So there's two entities of you. There's your individual brand.
Yeah, and then there's the actual business element of things. Because I feel that there's a lot of people that I've met before, even young people, and they actually have like their own sort of production company and stuff, but they actually don't put it on their CV. And I say to them, well, actually, you know, you should put it on your CV. You know, you are doing, it is work experience at the end of the day. It is something that you're actively doing.
Don't people always worry that there's going to be a conflict?
How do you mean? As in?
So they might be applying for a job in a production house.
Yeah. And
then they see on the CV that they've got their own independent production house.
Yeah.
Then sometimes a lot of people in their mind, they feel that that's going to be a conflict, and the recruiter or the potential company is going to be like,
Yeah. I see what you mean. Yeah, it can, I understand, it can come as a conflict from the young person seeing that, this could be a conflict because I've got my own production company and I'm trying to have another production company, so potentially the recruiter or the company is going to see you as, well, he's going to be overly busy, he's going to have the time to actually work for us and so on and so forth. But at the same time, it shows the company that he's actually taken a step out, and actually he or she taking a step out and actually being able to build their own work experience, actually being able to learn on the go. If that be through tutorials, if that be through just understanding the elements of media. You know, if you're a photographer, you know, I'd expect you to learn more about photography online. If you're a videographer, you learn about your softwares, your Premiere Pro or your After Effects. You know, all the confusing programs.
Yeah.
After Effects for me, when I first started, didn't want to touch it. The whole outlook of it, the whole interface, crazy stuff. I didn't like it at all. But then when I started to understand that, okay, actually, I want to get booked in and I want to be able to be utilised in a way that's going to help my career, I've got to be able to use these programs.
Yeah.
So all these things are important.
So, like, have you always been in the creative space?
I have from 16, like from a young age. I'm getting old, but I'm not that old. I'm in my mid-20s. That's what I say. Yeah. But
you hear that quarter life crisis yet? Oh, he's living it now. You see that?
He's living it. So the age is exposed now. Yeah. But like, media has always been a thing for me from a young age, as I was saying earlier. Started with Harry Potter, and watching Harry Potter sequels really got me into media. The whole behind the scenes, how things were done, how Harry would fly on that broom, how how the whole wand was done, and stuff like. Yeah, I mean, even the whole understanding that this was all green screen, this was all special effects, this was all computerized and all this sort of stuff. Like even you got stuff like The Matrix, and also actors. I wanted to work with actors. I wanted to work with because I really appreciate on-screen talent. You know, you got your Leonardo DiCaprio, you've got your Denzel Washington.
Yeah.
You've got so many actors out there that I've followed for a long time, like Jason Statham. You know,
Jason Statham.
If I've even pronounced his name correctly, but
Jason Statham.
These actors really, put an effect on me to be like, actually, you know what? I appreciate what they do, and I'd love to work with them and create an impact on audiences as well. And media's been a really big career path for me, but it's been up and down because it's like there's sometimes okay, I had that journey where I was frustrated, and then it'll be all great at one point, and then at one point I wanted to quit, and then I've been close to quitting at times, but I then had to always go back to myself and say why I'm doing what I'm doing, why did I start in the first place. Then when I actually talk about my story, which is Harry Potter, as we first spoke about, that's why I started. I watched Harry Potter from a young age, and I say since the age of 16 I was into media. Well, tell a lie, it's actually much younger because Harry Potter sequels were coming out from when I was about 11, 12. So it kind of derived from then, and then I just started to just...
So are you like a real major Harry Potter fan? Like, have you been to the what's the studios, the Warner Brothers studios?
I haven't actually been to it. That's the most annoying thing, but I'm not going to lie, and everyone's going to know this. I've got the whole little toys.
I've got
the collection. Like the books were there. My brother's got the books. So the big books where you have to go like the big ones, Goblet of Fire. You got literally like go whoom. Prisoner of Azkaban. You just got to go. Even putting a bookmark in Goblet of Fire was a myth, but Harry Potter. I had the little gadgets and stuff. I haven't managed to actually go on the sets and all that stuff. And one day I'd love to do that. And experience that. But I've managed to kind of do a bit of research, understand how things were really done, and kind of picking up the mind of how Harry Potter all started. J.K. Rowling's she's a wizard. Legit, like just kind of being able to how she created Harry Potter and the whole concept of it. Like it's just like how she came up with the idea. But this is the whole thing about media. It's about the whole creativity. I think you don't just have creativity. You have it, you don't, that kind of thing. So I think she really created something that was just it's forever. And that's where I can always go back and be like, Harry Potter's what started for me, man. And everyone has a different story. I mean, like, there's one guy on there that I met recently, Max Warner. I'm shouting you out right now, Max. And he does composing music, right? So and he's trying to study a few beats and stuff. So he's into music and stuff. And he was talking to me saying, Tyler the Creator is my guy. Tyler Creator does a lot of unique, different sort of stuff, and that's what inspired him. And that's what I spoke to him about putting in the CV. It's all about your story. Like, where did it start for you? I mean, for anyone that starts media, you go into photography or you go into graphic design. Maybe one day you'll sit on the bus and you saw like a really cool design. You're like, actually, no, I can make that one day. So why didn't I kind of get into that? Who knows? That's what it's all. Everyone has a different story, and that's my story. So,
with that sort of passion, would you sort of say you ever see yourself in front of the camera, or are you more the creative behind it in terms of the editing, coming up with the ideas?
Yeah, I always see myself behind the camera. Well, not like because in front of the camera, I'm not like a
gas gang.
No, but I've always seen myself as being like the aim is director sort of thing, and I put pen to paper, create the idea, direct the actual production, or you have to put up there the brand and so on and so forth. I've always been a person that's behind the camera and okay, how can we make the lighting be this way, or how can we create that effect where it kind of makes him look dark, or noir filming, all that sort of stuff. So I've always been behind the camera, like utilising my hand to hold the camera and to film what's in front of the camera. That's why I was always saying I like to work with on-screen talent.
Yeah.
Wherever I get in front of the camera, I'm always able to work with them in a way where it's created an impact. There's some people I've worked with before in front of the camera and it hasn't really like gelled like that. It happens, or we all go through that as videographers, but yeah, behind the camera is what I've always been doing. If that be editing, and I mean, they all say you got to be jack of all trades, so I had to learn how to edit. I had to learn how to film. So big thanks to Yao. I don't know if Yao's watching this, but when I first met Yao, he has his own platform himself, Visionary Entertainment, and he taught me how to use the Canon camera and like taught me all the little things that I needed to know. And just from that, probably one of the main reasons why I've been booked in left, right, centre to do certain things, events, and you know, like a Canon camera. I'll be honest, when I first started, I just looked at it, I was like, I didn't even know how to
get overwhelmed.
And there was just one day, like it was just crazy. Like we were just sitting down, and he helped with my documentary, and he was sitting down, and he was just literally just showing me, oh, this is how you do this. This is how you put the lighting up. This is how you this is all about the ISO, and I didn't know what this stuff was, ISO and the low level lighting and all this stuff, and you know, so I was just learning as we go along. So yeah, he taught me a lot. He taught me really. I have to thank him a lot for what he's taught me.
Yeah, I guess there's a lot of people that you need to thanks for.
Yeah, definitely, 110%. I mean, the list is long, but I mean, even for what I'm doing now, Talk2Dan, a big thanks to all the public speakers that I've engaged with or met, because I mean, trying to go to unis and colleges and trying to talk to them about this is how you can break into media, this is how you can overcome the phase of networking, this is how you sell yourself in your CV. It's difficult enough because I'm a young person talking to a young person. A young person knows when you're just talking nonsense, really, isn't it? Like, but being able to have that confidence and be able to do it is great. A big person that's really influenced this for me is Aaron Tan, and he's a public speaker. He's also a lecturer as well, and he has been amazing. Like I don't know what I'd do without him. Like, yeah, honestly, like Aaron, if you're watching this right now, like, bro, you've really helped me, and yeah, he is just such an amazing person to talk to. Like, he understood everything about me. Just in a day, he was able to just transform me into an actual great public speaker. And I think every other public speaker I've encountered, but Aaron has really been that extra mile. He's really just shaped it for me. If there were certain people I didn't really meet on my path, yeah, then it would have been very difficult. And funny enough, I met Aaron through an online networking app.
Wow, this is the power of technology.
Yeah, like, yeah. So that's what's so amazing about it. Like, you know, I was literally just on Facebook and I found an online networking app called Shaper. So SHAPR. Yeah. And I met some really cool people on there. Like, still using it till today. You can network with like-minded young people in your field. How great is that? And you know, when doing that, you're able to just, for example, a photographer may meet another photographer, or a videographer may meet an actor. So an actor may need, you know, certain things to be filmed, or you know, I need, I don't know, certain scenarios I need to be filmed, or just certain elements and stuff. Yeah, and a film can help the actor can help the film. So it's all about that sort of putting the minds together, connecting, and actually being able to just work it.
Wow.
Yeah. So yeah, big thanks to a lot of people. Like, yeah.
So let's go way back. So you was telling me earlier that, you know, you didn't get paid for the first 3 years of you stepping into media. I want to know about that stage, but I also want to know about that pivotal moment where you decided, I'm going to build this Talk2Dan brand. So like, let's go through it. Like that first 3 years.
So that first 3 years was starting from college, and when I was in college and I studied film, media, business, and sociology, I actually failed business, and so I was doing film, media, business, and PE. Yeah. So early on, when I actually started college, I wanted to get into personal training, right? And I was like, yeah, I have to take PE because I just understand PE and stuff. Now, when I failed PE, because I'm not gonna lie, I was a bit of the class clown. I was always just playing games and just, I just always used to just take the piss out of the teacher and stuff. And you know, I look back at it and I'm like, you know, obviously, you know, things happen. And yeah, I really wanted to do personal training. And then obviously when I failed PE, it kind of demotivated me. I got an E and I was just like, yeah, you know what? Yeah, it's not gonna happen. So, and still at that time, I was still into media and stuff because I was doing film media. When I started to do film media in college, I was like, you know what? I can't just be in college and just think that, yeah, I'm going to get a media job anyhow. I have to get the cameras in the college that I'm entitled to because I'm a college student, and that should just go film, just anything. I mean, it could just be filming people walking past, or it could just be like I'm filming a segment. So, I don't know, cars are going by, or, you know, I'm filming, like people be like, what are you filming? And I'm just doing stuff for my college project. But then I take that footage and then go back into college and just play with it and edit and just learn some things. You know, I started to even do repeated frames back into Premiere Pro, and I was just learning and making mistakes. And then like sound was really peaking and stuff. So I've learned that sound should be minus 12 dB. Okay. It shouldn't be hitting over because it'll be peaking, it'll be red. So all these little things that I learned, it was just like, great. Now I can implement that into getting work experience and understanding. I've learned all the technical sort of stuff and everything. I was literally just thinking, okay, what sort of work experience can I get? Let me just apply. Okay, let me go Channel 4. Let me go this, let me go that. I was thinking of all the big names. I was like, I want to work for these big places. Then I was hitting all these big places and I was like, not getting anything. And I was like, you know what, this is just stressful. This is frustrating. Like, everyone goes through this stage of their journey. Even when they're even experienced, they still go through that stage. And I was just like, you know what, this is just, I don't know, this is just too much. Maybe I should just settle for less and just do something simple, just basic, you know. And then when I started to keep going, I got that letter in the post. And there was a letter in the post, basically, it was me getting Channel 4 work experience. When I looked at it, I was just like, this is crazy. Like, because this is me applying over 7-8 times.
Wow.
Yeah, like the resilience in me that I have, and my brothers will say it, you know, I'm a kind of person where, I mean, yeah, I could go down about 6, 7 times, 8 times, but I'm like, you know what, I'm just going to keep going, man. Like, because, like I will say, I have to revert back to what it was, why I started. There's a reason why I started and why I do what I do. So because of that, I just had to understand that, you know what, and there's going to be an end goal. And the end goal, it's not going to be easy to get to the end goal, but it's going to happen.
What was the end goal back then?
The end goal back then, I think, was like, all right, yeah, I just want to work on these amazing productions, and yeah, I just want to get onto this stuff because it looks so cool. Yeah, I wouldn't mind working on Channel 4, working on the in-betweeners and all this stuff. But then I wasn't really thinking about probably the elements of learning this stuff. I was willing to learn, I was willing to understand all these great things, but it was about, okay, you need to learn all these little things, then actually implement that in the company. Now, the whole 3 years thing, in terms of actually not getting paid, I had to, it's not like I predicted this, but it was a thing where I set myself targets and stuff. I said, you know what, let me really understand and take what's coming at me. So I had to run. I'd done a bit of casting research, and I even done productions on shows, running. I worked on sound. I worked on lighting. So I wanted to learn everything for production. And I said, you know, like I was talking about Harry Potter before, I was very curious about how things are done on set. So I got to even work on set while I was a runner for Rimmel, London. I got to work on sets where producers trusted me and actually brought me onto running opportunities. And I started to network with directors, producers, all these sort of people. And they started to understand that, okay, yeah, let's give Dan a chance.
Yeah.
Doing all this for free, of course. And I think what a lot of young people have to understand is that you got to prove that you're worth being paid. And there's going to be times where you'll be like, oh, you know what, like, I'm not trying to get work experience. I'm not trying to just do something for. But at the end of the day, if you're passionate about what you're doing, you wouldn't even think about the money. Like, that's what I was so passionate that I wasn't even thinking about the money for the 3 years. I was just like, I love what I'm doing. And it was tiring. I'm not going to lie. I was going back from Luton to London to Luton. You can ask my friends, you can ask everyone else, just going back and forth, events. Sometimes I'll miss a lecture and just go do some work experience and let the lecturer know. You know, it was a lot of things I was juggling because uni is tough and there's trying to do work experience. So I was doing all that. Like I said, when I got into the Channel 4, I started to understand everything and really get that opportunity. Then I managed to get, I applied for Channel 4. I didn't get it. Channel 4 then called me and said, look, we've got one guy that's going away on holiday for a month. We want you to freelance it. I was like, okay. And like, you want me to freelance in the full creative team. We want you to do this. And I was like, okay. We want you to use After Effects. And I was like, okay. And I was like, everything, yeah. I was like, everything sounded good. I was like, shit. And then, because I was learning at TriStar TV, which is a company based in Luton. Big thanks to Charlie. Like, Charlie has been a very, very big part of the journey. Charlie, George Fellner, these guys, and my friends in Luton will know about TriStar because I always used to just talk about it and obviously just go there all the time. Funny enough, there was a time when I got to know about TriStar when I was in Luton. I was filming Vox Pops, and one guy gave me the card. So what you filming? I said, we're filming Vox Pops for university. Gave me the card, said, take a picture of the card, took a picture, called up Charlie. I was on the phone to Charlie about for 30 minutes. Yeah. Yeah, and he was just like, kind of like, why should you become the TriStar? Like, what brings you here? Charlie, I think he really saw that I wanted to learn. He really understood that Daniel's a good guy, wants to learn, just wants to understand more about the production side of things. Now, he does TV adverts. So I was working on TV adverts, and it was an amazing experience. Like, if anyone gets to work on TV adverts, it's crazy because there's storyboarding, there's the post-production, there's the pre-production, there's everything behind it, and there's so much to learn, like even Clearcast, so it's not just about, the film elements, it's also the actual, going from one place to another, to that kind of thing. So it really, really, it really just helped. It helped me, everything, like, so Charlie's been a big thing in it. And then I had Sky, as I was talking to, I had ITV was work experience, getting the ITV Insight program. I worked at Fountain Studios, met some really cool people. Just the other day, just getting back in contact with some contacts that I met at Fountain Studios. Harry, which I'm going to have a one-time with him, a talk with him very soon. Met some really amazing people. And then, as I said, I got into Sky. I done the creative side of things there. So I was working in the mastering team, which was all about, we're adding the graphics to the end board. So, you've got like Sky Sports, you've got Sky Entertainment. So imagine when you're watching Sky Sports, you see like the badges and all that kind of stuff. We were doing that, the glares, we were putting together like the whole, it's all to do with like the advertisement of things. So like it was all to do with like end boards, 30-second promo. We'd basically create the end bit, if that makes sense. Yeah. And I learned a lot from that team. Man, I miss the guys at Sky, man.
Yeah?
Yeah, Pat, God bless you. Honestly, Pat is a great guy. The girls, Shakira, Michelle, Chantel, Ayan, man. Like, it's when I got into Sky, I felt like there were so many people that were just teaching me so many different things. And I was like, I'm blessed to be here. And there's a lot of people that's come from different areas. They could have come from another company or just starting out there, but they were teaching me so many different things. And then Mikel, who I used to sit next to, this guy's a wizard. Yeah. Mikel is an animator for days. Like, he was just, remember when I said to you, I was walking past a guy and I literally was just looking like, what's this guy doing? Mikel would be I was sitting next to him and he was just working on some animation. I was like, what program is that, man? Like, I'm doing After Effects and I'm just like, I'm looking at it, I'm like, yeah, you know what? I'll stick to my key. I'll stick to my keyframes, and then this guy, he can stick to his animation. Sometimes like, this is crazy. And I used to speak to him about it. I was curious. I was like, so what's that you're doing? And he was just talking to me about it, and I was just like, this is crazy, man. Like, but the team at Sky, even the sports team, Josh, Stu, you had Wes. God, there's so many guys. Even like at Sky, I worked with Tarion Ree and Jane Redknapp, and
I saw a photo on your Insta.
And the way that came across, so at Sky, I was never doing anything to do with shoots, but the way that came across, I went to Josh upstairs. He's a creative at Sky, and said to him, I want to speak to, I want to basically get on set and stuff. Like, I want to be able to do so and so. And at that time, I was still doing my documentary and stuff. Like, Can We Help for Less? And I'm still doing that now. And he said, look, you're brave and you give it a shot. Go speak to Noel. Noel's just there sitting there, and Noel is the big boss. Noel was like, you speak to him, you get like probably get 2 minutes to speak to him. He's always busy. But such a cool guy. He's a cool guy. When you speak to him. So I went over to him and said, hi, no, I'm Daniel from Mastering downstairs. I just want to have a quick chat with you, if possible. He's like, this is what I do outside work. I film documentaries and stuff. I just want to get the chance to get on set and, just understand more about lighting, more about production, all that stuff. And if I can get on the Sky Sports, it would be really great, And my manager, Matthew, he was really happy for me to do that. If I had a day, just let him know and I'll go down and do it. And Noah was like, oh, you know what, you sound really, you sound like you really want to learn and so forth. And he passed me on to one of the producers, Al McGee. I believe he's still that Sky. And Al was a great guy to work with, so chilled, so cool. And yeah, it was just amazing to see the network I was creating at Sky. And because I was really hungry, I was like, I want to get into all different avenues, all different areas, and I want to get on set. This is what I want to do. You got to make your own opportunity. Of course, it was a confidence thing for me. I had to be confident to actually go.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking.
And that was like, because when Josh was like, I was there, Josh, and Josh was sitting down. He's sitting like this, just seeing his work. He's like, you got the balls, go speak to him.
Go do it.
And then even me, I was thinking, let me go downstairs and come back another time. But then I was like, this is probably my only chance.
Yeah.
He's sitting there right now talking to nobody. His eyes on the computer like this, probably doing up production schedules. But I was like, I'm best to go speak to him. That's where all the big creators sit. So him, Wes, Mark, like Simon. These guys are working on like Formula One. These guys are working on the Prem. The big stuff. And they're proving all this stuff. Do you know what I mean? Cutting these promos and. Yeah, I had to really just, and the thing is, it's not like I had a one-to-one, a private conversation with this guy in the office. I had to talk to him. Everyone was hearing me. It was like
some shaky kid.
It was just like,
I want to talk to that.
So the experience has been amazing, and just the transformation. But it's the first encounter, like getting paid. The first time I got paid was TriStar TV, and Charlie was like to me. He's like, I'm trying to get someone new. I need someone to edit, and I was like, oh, Charlie, I can edit. I've done editing new. Like, I can do this. And he's like, oh, but I need someone that's experienced. I was like, Charlie, listen, give me the opportunity to edit. Trust me. I'll be willing to learn. I'll learn after festival. And then he just sat down with me and spoke to me and stuff, and then I started to get paid. It wasn't the most money in the world, but I started to get paid. It was a start, exactly, and it was proving that I'm worth getting paid. I was working with him, doing work experience, and even the head of production was giving good words of me to him and saying, "Look, Daniel's really good. Keep him on." So on and so forth. And I loved the head of production. I learned a lot of him, and I was so easy to talk to him and stuff. And I could go to TriStar TV tomorrow, and they would have me on. You know what I mean? Tomorrow and pay me. And that's the amazing thing about it. Charlie's always there to help me, and that was the whole blessing about it. He was always there to help me when I was in need. If I was a dry month for freelancing, and be like, look, Dan, if there's something that is actually coming up, I can help you. Because he knows what I can do. Do you know what I mean? I was still learning and still understanding the more trickier stuff to do with adverts and stuff, but he knew what I could do. He knew where I could fit in with the company, and that's what was amazing. So TriStar is, I learned so much from there. Like,
you, as a young person trying to get into media, you sounded like someone who was switched on. Like the fact that you was going out there trying to get the experience, and then also when you was listening to all the people that had a connection or helped you or aided you, I don't think that comes naturally. You had to display something, but you also had to ask. I'm sure you had to kind of ask those questions like, hey, do you mind showing me this? I don't know this. Like, you had to admit your flaws sometimes as well.
Yeah,
I'm not great at it.
Yeah, and so just on top of that, I also kind of learned very quickly your appetite for learning. Insatiable. And I think that's something that needs to be conveyed to this younger generation, that you have to have that appetite to want to learn and be in that position and kind of humble yourself, like you said, to not get paid. Put yourself in those positions where you might have been a bit uncomfortable. You had to learn and learn quickly on your feet, but you did. And like you said, you worked up to a point where people saw your value. They could not pay you. You were worth your weight. Do you know what I mean? Like, you were worth it. They were like, that's Dan.
Yeah. And the thing is, I always say this, I tell even every young person I have a consultation with, or I just encounter maybe at an event or whatever it could be. So it took me 3 years to start getting paid. And they're like, whoa, man, it's crazy. Like, you're patient. But I say to that young person, it may take you 6 months. It may take you a year. It may just take you a month. Everybody's story is different. So, I was working, running, going back and forth, understanding more what I mean. But maybe that's my journey. It was good for me for that 3 years to just understand everything. And now I can do what I can do. People know that my work is of good quality, and I know, I never really got to know about lighting, before I got onto certain sets. So you're supposed to have your key light, your filler light, and your backlight. That sort of thing. I didn't know that, but then now I know that. You know? So, and just stuff, things I've learned along the way, you know, and you know, all about set production, costume design, all these sort of things. You know, it's really, really, really important. Like even, you know, you go into After Effects or you go into Premiere Pro, you're filming someone, maybe there's a few blemishes. In post-production, how do you get rid of blemishes? I know how to do that. I've learned that. How do you colour correct? I know how to colour correct now. You know, all these little things. You know, when I first ever done film, I mean, I'll be very honest with you, the first film that I put out for my college, I never colour corrected that. I didn't know what colour correcting was.
I didn't know what it is.
Colour grade, I didn't know what the hell colour. But then when you actually start colour correcting, you're like, okay, there's a big difference now.
Yeah.
But you learn as you go along. This is the thing. This is the journey. This is where I have to be thankful to the people I've met because I didn't do it by myself. I did ask questions. I had to ask stupid questions because I thought they were stupid questions, but they're actually not stupid questions. So like, and this is the thing. If you have a question, ask the question. Honestly, if the person doesn't know the answer to the question, then they'll refer you probably to someone else.
Do you know what's interesting about that? Like, we've been doing recordings for a while, and there's been a theme with a lot of the guests that we have is not to be scared to ask questions.
Yeah.
And it seems like everyone is saying, everyone who's doing something and they started from a place of not knowing, the reason or part of the reason for where they are now is they got over that barrier of being scared to ask the question and just went for it.
Yeah.
Whether they sounded stupid, because apparently there's no such thing as a stupid question. And it's just amazing to hear you say that. And there's something that I'm going to try and connect the pieces. When I think about your journey and the fact that a lot of people were talking to you, I feel like Talk2Dan is kind of being that as well, in a way. Am I right in thinking that? Yeah,
it's true, I mean, a lot of people were talking to me. A lot of people have said that I'm very easy to talk to. And at the same time, I talk to people, I want to get to know people. When I started to realise when I was in the industry, and I'm still in the industry, and I was in these companies and events and all that stuff, what was funny is that I started to give people advice and I was learning off them and soaking everything as a sponge and just understanding certain elements of media. And the whole thing of people talking to me started to become an element of Talk2Dan and the advice sort of stuff and the consultation and, you know, being able to think, you know, I'm meeting so many different young people, different areas of media where I can create a platform that can actually help them get their foot in the door. I mean, the stuff I post, you're probably not going to see those things on normal media pages. I guarantee you that. But the way I've got to understand where to look, I'm just willing to learn. I just love to understand opportunities. If you want opportunity, of course, put it like this, like I've told a lot of people, when I first started out in media, the first thing I put in Google is media opportunities, something like that. I didn't know where to look. You've got some crazy names that I can list right now. In media, everything's always going to be very quirky and unique. You know, you've got your Tiger Aspect, which is a company. You've got Go Think Big. You know, you've got Screen Skills. I mean, you've got some really interesting names you go by, and it's just like, I wouldn't even put this in Google. I wouldn't even know.
Search. You wouldn't even know where to start.
Yeah, and this is the thing, like, there's some really different companies out there, you're like big-minded, you know, 40 partners.
Yeah, that you don't even know what I mean. Yeah.
So, you know, and that's a production company. You know? So this is the thing, and I've learned that along the way, and by meeting people, networking, but also at the same time just researching.
So do you reckon there's a gap between all these like production houses and especially media companies that don't really understand how to connect with the younger generation? Are they missing something? Because it seems like you've identified one area, which is, I'm interested in getting media, but I don't know what production companies or what media companies live out there because they got, you know, ambiguous names.
Yeah. I think probably to fix that is, well, everyone's going digital now, everyone's going online. But to fix that is more events and passing it through the younger sort of production companies in the sort of way. Because I think a lot of, put it like this, like a lot of young people on the page, they will know about your SBTV, your JM Daily, they'll know about the general sort of companies and stuff. But if these production houses are working in conjunction with these sort of places, then young people are more inclined to actually know about, you know, these sort of companies.
Yeah, true.
So I think it's a matter of the big companies working with a smaller company to actually hit out, okay, this is us, we want to work through this, and then let's kind of bring that sort of our platform to the young person.
So are these companies looking for younger people?
Potentially. I mean, every young person, every companies will always look for young.
Fresh.
Yeah, they want
Innovative.
fresh new talent. Yeah, like fresh new talent, and not just. It's not about like fresh new talent that can do everything. Like at the end of the day, a young person could be on this camera right now, and they may not even know how to set up a tripod, or not even know about the bubble that needs to be in the middle.
Yeah.
You know, I didn't know about that when I first started, but it needs to be in the middle because if it's not, and you're trying to film, your footage is going to become wonky. It's just going to,
Half a man's
literally.
face in the footage.
Exactly. and I had to learn that the hard way because I made a few mistakes when I started out doing that. So it's about, and even one of the contacts I met when she worked at Channel 4, Priscilla Baffle, she told me this: she doesn't care about a degree. A degree it means something, but it doesn't mean a lot. It's all about your passion. What have you done? Like, even if you haven't got all the work experience in the world of media companies, what have you done to go out there to create something? So maybe, someone's starting out a podcast, or maybe, you're actually just filming short films, or maybe you're doing little comedy sketches, or maybe, you're an actor and you're getting involved into a few auditions. You're doing something. Create your own work experience. I had to create my own work experience. When I first started out, people were like, you've got Channel 4, you've got this and that. But I was like, at the end of the day, when I first started, it was a blank canvas, my CV. It was all uni experience. It was all sort of, like I'd actually put down on my CV, filming general views as work experience. You know what I mean? Like, and I know that sounds really like cheesy. Like, how can you put that down? But like, sometimes you just got to do what you got to do. Like, and that's what I done. I wanted to just go out there and practice and learn. People were there to teach me at some certain times, but at the same time, I had to kind of teach myself. So this is the thing: you got to be proactive in your own way. Media is hard. Let's not get it wrong. Like, it's very difficult.
So proactive is a key.
Yeah, consistency and being proactive. Like, but give yourself a break at times. Don't overdo it, because there's that balance that you have to have. Your social life and then work. Social life and then work. I think one thing that I realized I was a workhorse. Like, when I first started, I was just like bang, 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 but then the social life, I did make a few sacrifices. Like, people be going out partying, but then I'll be like, actually, you know what? I'm doing this. Like, but there's certain sacrifices you've got to make sometimes. But then enjoy your life. Be social. Don't disregard it all. Make sure that you are enjoying the life, but know what's in front of you. Know that you really want to be able to get to that end goal, and that end goal is gonna come with sacrifices.
That's true.
Yeah.
I like that way.
Yeah. On sort of being a workhorse and kind of taking it a bit further back, you sort of mentioned your level of perseverance and persistence, kind of getting that knocked back 7-8 times, but you kept going. If you could go back and just say something to yourself, would you say anything? And that advice again, would that be relevant to a lot of young people now, who are in sort of similar places where they're trying to get that internship, trying to sort of elevate, but they're getting those knockbacks? They're thinking, why should I even bother?
Yeah. One thing I've learned from when if I could go back then and say something, is work hard but work smart.
Hey,
yes,
come on, honestly.
That's what we're all about.
Like one thing, and even when I started Talk2Dan, I was working hard.
Yeah.
I was working hard. Like, I was just like that. Was I working smart? I'll be honest, I don't think I was. But I was working hard, building a platform, making something that I knew that it come to the stage where I'm going to start working smart. I'm going to start realising the gaps in the market and what can really work for the young people. So if I could go back then, like a good couple of years back, when I started media, I was working too hard. But it's got me to where I am today. I mean, the journey is the journey, but when you're working hard, even if you're starting out, work smart. So, I mean, look, I have this thing called a skill swap. If someone can't pay you, what can they bring to you? So maybe you're filming for them.
Ola's filming this one. Look at him.
If you're filming them, so if a videographer is filming someone's show, for example, what can you bring to me? Okay, we can bring you so and so forth. I've done skill swaps before, and it's worked for me. And at the end of the day, like I said, money is not the whole. Okay, yeah,
it's not the only currency.
Yeah, skill swap. If someone can do something for you, and you can do something for them, then create that sort of skill swap and make it work.
How do you approach that? Is that like through an email call?
You approach
Shaper, like you were saying.
Shaper, yeah. I mean, well, the skill swap kind of comes in conversation when, say, the budget's not there, for example. If budget's not there, and you actually genuinely speak to someone, look, I haven't actually got the budget to rent you out or to utilize your service, but I was thinking, potentially I could do this for the next 3 months for you to do this, and maybe, you could actually give me your skills to do that. Okay, that could work.
Yeah.
That could work. Like, we could do that. No one's losing out, because at the end of the day, I'm actually getting a skill from the client, and they're actually being able to utilize my service, but it's in a way where it works for the both of us.
Yeah,
so
it's a win-win.
Yeah, but no one's getting paid, but it is a win-win, because the product at the end of the day is getting made for both sides. So that's something that I've learned. So the work hard, work smart, I would have said that to myself back then when I started, because I was working like very hard, and I can admit that like there's times when I'm thinking, when do I take a break? And yeah, this is where you learn as you go along. But now I work hard, yeah, but I work smart. So anything I'm doing, if I'm gonna create an idea, it's like, okay, work hard, but what's the work smart element of it? What's the element that's gonna actually? It's not to say like, what's the element that's gonna make money, but what's the element of it that's gonna make it be sustainable for the future? What's gonna make it develop over time? That sort of thing, not just work hard for something.
For the sake of working.
Yeah. So that's something that I've really learned, in a way.
So I'm interested about Talk2Dan because there's multiple sides to it. There's the fact that you're helping out young people, but at the same time, you're that intermediate piece between young people and actual brands and companies.
Yeah.
So I want to get understanding, and I'm sure some of the podcast listeners want to hear as well. How can you help each one? So how can you help the unit of, I want to get into media, and how can you help media companies who are looking to get people on board? So
many young people want to get into media, and that could be from different aspects of media. So from videography, photography, graphic design, makeup, you name it. Animation, for example. Media is very broad, so we could go and have a big list. And for me to be able to get them into their end goal is to be able to actually connect these young people brands that they associate themselves with. Young people associate themselves with sport brands, fashion brands, just general brands. It could even be anything from your gym brands, that sort of stuff. So it's about being like, okay, what do young people do on a regular basis within the week? Young people go to the gym, they go out to party, young people go to the library, young people do this, that sort of stuff. So it's about being able to get in contact with these sort of companies that actually are able to, they are in line with a young person. They're like, okay, yeah, we want young people.
Yeah.
And that's where the work smart comes into it, where that company, I say to them, well, I've actually got a diverse talent pool, a range of people that are willing to learn. Some are experienced, some are starting out, some have actually established themselves, got their own sort of company, and they're able to then just, utilize my service into actually recruiting talent that is going to aid their business. I think with what I've got, it's about that young person instilling that trust in them as well. So to be like, at the end of the day, every young person that's on the talent pool is representing Talk2Dan. So it's a matter of them being able to understand the concept of Talk2Dan and understand that this is where I see it going. This is where I want to be able to help them get on different experiences. That's why it's a freelance talent pool. Freelance, you move from place to place. Yeah. It's not even just in one place at one time. So it then allows the company and then the young person to create that relationship. And then even, what happens is that young person works so well for that company, then they end up maybe being there for, not for a lifetime, but for quite a long period of time. So then it works in that way. So, I mean, a lot of the companies will start to realize that, well, actually, what first companies will always do is first go on social media and see what's really going on there. Is it engaging? Is it that sort of thing? The website obviously is important as well, but it's about the engagement and what obviously young people are saying about Talk2Dan and what young people have experienced and stuff. But I think the most important thing is the young person, they have a journey that they are going on and they're going to go through obstacles. Whereas the company, they're established. So it's kind of like building those two together and be like, well, they can obviously overcome those obstacles at the company, and there's got to be people that are experienced to allow them to overcome those obstacles and actually be able to get to that end goal.
Wow. Yeah. So no, because like I'm thinking, Talk2Dan is one person, and I'm thinking it's a lot of work, but there's so much value in it. Yeah. So, and I want it. So there's the one bit I really want to hear, because you've been going for what, 2 years?
2 years. So starting in January 2017. Yeah.
And I've seen your website, but I've seen the testimonies. Yeah. And just even watch, because you've got different types of testimonies. You've got the written, you've got the visual, you've got the little YouTube. Yeah, and it's just like you've got different representations of people saying this is the impact that's been, you know, that Talk2Dan has given us. Yeah. What is probably the one that stands out for you?
That's a very good question, man. You know, actually, yeah, there is actually one on the page that actually stands out for me. But this is just actually talking about the story behind it. I met a guy. He actually was at Friend Tour, called Ope.
Oh, so yeah, backstory. We met at an event called Friend Tour. Yeah, me and Ola was hosting. Yeah, and you was one of the guest pen. I can't even speak. Thank you, Ola. So yeah, that was about what, 18 months ago. But yeah, continuing the story. He was there.
Yeah, he was there, and we networked, we exchanged numbers and stuff. And yeah, like we had a one-to-one. When I have my one-to-ones in Wembley, that's where I'm based. And then like we said, you know, we're gonna meet for free. He's probably gonna hate me for saying this, but it's a really good story. And I said to him one day I will talk about it.
Today's the day.
We had the meeting for free, and you know, I was at Wembley, I was in the area and stuff, and I was waiting for him, and I still didn't hear from him. I was trying to call him, still didn't hear from him. I was like, what's going on? And then come 3:30, still haven't heard from him. And then coming near to 3:45, haven't heard from him, texting him. Then it came to like 4, and I was like, you know what, okay, I'm gonna have to turn around and go back home. As soon as I turned around, drive my car and go back home, I got a text from him saying, oh, hi Daniel, I'm here, sorry. And then I walked towards him. As soon as I walked towards him, he looks like he is about to like, just like, you know, someone's just like, I didn't even want to see you, because like, it's like, oh my God, I'm so sorry.
Oh, okay,
Like he was really late, and he said, oh bro, I'm so sorry I'm late. And he had his reasons, like he had his family stuff, and kind of like a lot of young people back in the day have said, some parents have been funny about like, okay, you're going to go for advice or consultation, you're coming all the way from Stretton, for example, all the way to Wembley, for what reason? To speak to who? To speak, like, who's this person?
I'm going to talk to Dan.
But like, even at that time, or still early days, it was like, what does so-and-so know, or all that sort of stuff. Now, when I met Ope, the funny thing is, we actually didn't have a meeting in a coffee shop or whatever. We had a meeting in my car.
Right.
Like, literally, we were in the Golf, we had a meeting in my car, I was in the front seat, was there, and we spoke, and man, like, I was really thankful that I actually had a meeting with Ope. It was meant to be. We sat down, we spoke about his career and his CV and stuff, and I said, you've got your own production company, why have you not put it on your CV? He's like, I don't know, and he's put like his other retail sort of stuff, and I was like, that stuff don't need to be in there, put your production stuff in there. And then, you know, I said to him, look, talk about your personal story and your profile, what got you started into media and stuff. And then he started talking about his personal story and stuff, and interestingly enough, after the advice that I gave to him and stuff, he applied for a role, and he got an interview at Sky.
Wow.
Yeah, and that was like wow, like is this working? Like is this something that I can do, you know, for young people? And what I said to him was like, listen, we're gonna have a call, and I'm gonna talk to you about some interview techniques. That's really helped me. Gave him some interview techniques, and we were on the phone for probably about 30 minutes, 45 minutes and stuff. It's like, yeah, okay, Dan, I really appreciate your advice, and I'm gonna go there and kill it and smash it. Unfortunately, he didn't get the job, but he was really happy to do a testimonial, and he was really happy that he met me and he had that advice in terms of changing the CV up, in terms of actually getting the interview. Like, that was for him, it was like, I got the interview. I might not got the job, but I actually got the interview. I got to that stage, and that was the most amazing thing, because I also gave him some techniques on the application and stuff like that. So his CV, he just saw how it changed and how it really impacted. But to meet him, he's been one of the best clients. Like, I don't want to like put him as like all other clients are not, but like, yeah, it's been a really great like impact with him, like just the whole like I was waiting and I was just like, is this guy gonna come? And I was like, God, what's going on? Like, and then like literally just seeing him, I was like, yeah, you know what? Like, anytime I see him, we just I talk about it. You know what I mean? It's like, man, we were meant to meet. It was meant to be. Like, it was just meant to be. If I didn't see him that day, yeah, I just, you know, God works mysterious ways. Like, yeah, it was meant to be, like, to meet him. So, yeah, that was a amazing meeting we had, man. And the impact that came from it. So
sorry to cut you off. Do you know what's powerful and like quite sort of inspiring for me is just hearing everything you said and you've done, and I'm just thinking, this guy is young. Do you know what I mean? Like, not even trying to like gas. It's like, think about what you've achieved. Like a lot of people that I know who've done half of what you've done or a similar level are well into their 30s. Yeah. Well into kind of middle age, and you've done this, like you said, mid-20s. Don't want to put too much out there. And I'm just like, imagine where. No, honestly, like, imagine where you sort of be in the next couple years. Yeah. On that kind of point, where do you see yourself and Talk2Dan in the next year, 2 years, 3 years? Like, what is the plan sort of going forward? Obviously, you've achieved all these amazing things, but what's to come? What's the next step?
The next steps and planning forward is